Hey all, it's Dinosa. I'm doing Jersey Shore Season 3 Italy, Episode 8. Just kind of a whole thing snowballing overall. But first thing I want to say a couple of things is to all you ladies who can do that elliptical hour plus, I'm proud of you because I finally got to do that elliptical for a half an hour and the arc elliptical, and that thing, I understand now why you girls do it so much because it burns so much damn calories, and I gotta admit it whoops ass. Not very manly, but it works. So just there's a prop for you ladies. But anyway, this episode really starts off where the last episode ends, like they all do. But this one's an interesting one. It was about Nicole going to jail. Now here's the seriousness of the situation. If Nicole goes to jail, the whole crew could have to leave and get expelled from Italy. They don't tolerate that crap. They're pretty strict. But it was an issue that she didn't have her driver's license. Now, and if you all recall, Nicole hits the cop car by accident. They bring an ambulance out here to protect the police officer's necks. Now, I don't know what happened to the days where people get out of the car just like, man, what the freak? Because if you look at the car accident, I don't see how someone could have whiplash from that. I don't see it, but I guess it could happen. But they're like, and so I guess for insurance reasons, they brought the ambulance out there and everything. So, whatever. So, in retrospect, and the whole thing, Nicole goes to jail. Mike and Vinny and Polly are racing out there to get her driver's license out to the police officers on that, and to say she is that. Because here's the thing, she forgot her driver's license, yet she was driving out there. That's not a smart thing. You're driving in a foreign country, you don't even have your U.S. driver's license. Way to go, dummy. Way to go. Oh, but they were coherent enough to pick up a cell phone and call the house to tell the guys to bring the driver's license, but they didn't forget to bring the driver's license. Okay, makes a lot of sense, but hey, what do you know? But anyway, what happens is they go to jail. Nicole and Dina end up going to jail. Mike and them are racing there. They go to the station. They sit in the room for 2 hours. They finally let them out. And Nicole's like, I'm so free, thank you. And Paul is teasing him and say, you wrecked my Fiat, but I still love you. On that. And they go off and, back into their apartment. Now, a couple of things here. Nicole just had this big scare, so she is going to talk to Gianni on the phone. And that was the big push on this episode, is that Gianni was going to come out there. And the other people were going to go out clubbing. Now, Nicole had this big scare with the police, and it's kind of understandable. She wants to stay at home because she doesn't want to cause any or get anything crosswise with them. So she calls up Gianni. Guess who's in knocks at the door? Brittany, Mike's DTF girl. So she gets this brilliant idea to bring up Brittany and put it in Mike's bed. So when Mike gets back to the club, here's Brittany in his bed while he's bringing another girl. Awkward. And Mike, even in the interview, is like, this is going to be hard to get out of this one. So, the way he simplified it is, since she was DTF and the other one was iffy, he just said, you're out, you're done, goodbye. Now, here's the thing. I didn't date hardly anything in high school, and I didn't do much in college and all that. I don't ever remember a guys walking girls out the door quite like this group, because it's like, oh man, I almost want to even say it was like a harem in a sense, because literally Mike's like, okay, you're done, out. That's it. And they don't put any arguments. I swear, I think they signed an MTV contract or something, they can be sued, they'll be sent all this stuff. So they get paid, but they won't, be like this. And here's an interesting thing, and I just want to throw this out there with MTV. They show all Mike and all these guys hooking up with all these girls, then they disappear. I'm wondering if these girls are getting paid by MTV. See, because technically, and this is by the letter of the law, And this is the, and I'm not saying it's porn, but this is a law, is that if you're paying for for services for an entertainment video that you are putting out for mass distribution, such as Jersey Shore is, you can pay them for services, including acting, and if the movie is intercourse, we'll just say porn, on that, you can pay them for that service. That's not prostitution, that's entertainment. It's just as bad as the WikiLeaks thing and saying that's not blackmail, it's journalism. It's the same thing. But anyway, here's the thing though. I'm wondering if these girls are getting paid that are bringing back from Italy. Not so much the seaside girls. I'm wondering because all the guys in Italy, like they even said on TV, were slender, tan, very similar. Yet they're bringing back these girls. Now I don't know because what makes me come up with this theory is Mike is walking them out, and it wasn't just Mike. It was Paulie did it in the past, Vinny did it in the past, Ronnie did it in the past. They walk them out like dogs, and like, okay, no, you're done, out. Now, ask yourself this question. If a girl, and I know most girls on that, was starting to be walked out like that, what do you think their reaction would be? Would it be walk out the door? Or would it be to cuss the guy out? You know, seriously. You know, even if it was a foreign language, even if it was like blah 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 this, blah 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 that. You know, why is it they don't cuss them out? Which leads me to wonder if MTV is paying these chicks on that. So, anyway, I gotta fast forward this because there's a lot to cover in this episode. Anyway, Mike has his joke. He messes around with Brittany. And they go the next day. Gianni shows up. Nicole's all happy to see Gianni and smushes with them. Now, Gianni wanted to take a shower first and then smush. Nicole wanted to smush Gianni regardless if he took a shower or not. Now, this should be a good sign for a good relationship. However, Gianni is a complete, I don't know, just, I think the term was yanker or just loser. He's a bitch. I don't know. He acted like a girl, the whole thing. I mean, hello, you know, here's the thing. Nicole hooked up kinda with Dina, and Gianni, yeah, he was built like a guy, but he acted more like a girl in the whole his aspects on that. I don't know. I mean, that. But anyway, we'll get to that in a moment. So anyway, they all go out to the club. Mike is pissed off because he really just wants to be with Nicole, and he's like starting to come up with all this stuff. I'm going to kick his ass. I'm going to karate kick him. Yeah, right. And all this. And they're at the club, and, you know, Nicole's happy seeing she's drinking. She's getting really drunk. Mike, you just see him like thugging him. He just wants to whoop his ass on that because he thinks he's shit for Nicole. So anyway, they go out to one club, and Mike is just causing problems because of his tension. So he leaves. Oh no, they all decide to go to another club. So they go to another club. Snooki's really drunk at this point. So, here's the thing. She starts doing a little dance and getting a little freaky with Gianni. Now, this is girlfriend Snooki, not single Snooki. She is getting freaky in front of her boyfriend. Let's keep this in the context. This is acceptable. Just like the guy does dumbass shit to the girl, it's acceptable. Then she made some sort of comment about, like, well, where he was, like, too cool. And you can see he was, like, smoking and acting too cool. And she's like, look, if you don't like, why don't you just leave? And, you know, that was, like, a fish game. It was like, hell, he just wanted to turn around. It's like, hey, baby, I want you. You know, that's what it was. And what does he do? He takes the jacket, throws it, and walks out. The guy spent a 22-hour flight to smush, go to a club, get mad at one comment, and leave. And now, granted, what Snooki was doing, she was pulling up her dress and, you know, showing stuff of the world and all that. And even Ronnie's like, what the fuck? You know? And, you know, so he runs out. Snooki is drunk and pissed. This is the worst combination for guys and girls, being drunk and pissed and mad and sad. Because your emotions are going a million miles an hour, but your drunkenness, you can't control it. You can't keep it bottled. You just start rambling, blah, 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 and you will cuss your friends out. You will cuss anyone out because you're so friggin' drunk you don't even know it. So she goes out chasing after Gianni. Johnny goes down and disappears. Ronnie catches up with Snooki, tells her there. Ronnie finally catches up with Gianni, tells her, it's just me, talk to me. And he says, I'm here because I'm going through the same, I went through the same stuff with Sammy. Please talk to me. This woman loves you. What are you doing? He's like, look what she did. And he's like, and Ronnie's like, I can understand this, why he's acting like this. Okay, bye. And he let him go. Ronnie is actually the one making sense here, because he's like, okay, look, I see what direction this is going. I've been down this road. It doesn't work. Go. So Snooki is upset. Now, the reason why Snooki's so upset is she's had horrible luck with men. I think my luck with women is worse than Snooki, but that's another story. So, but anyway, on that, and I'm sorry, I don't know if I misspoke there. My luck with girls is worse than Snooki's luck with men. I mean, it's thing. I didn't kiss no guy either. Hell no. I don't swing that way. So, anyway, on that, so what happens is Snooki and Gianni get in this fight. Gianni goes off running off. Just, you know, just, and, you know, and even JWoww is trying to catch up. Now, JWoww stalks over to Snooki and is like, you need to calm down. And she's like, oh, I hate you, I hate you. And she's, because she's drunk and mad, there's nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is sober her up on that. So, JWoww goes chasing off Gianni, can't find him. They go back to the apartment. Snooki wants to be alone. They're like, no, we're not leaving you alone in the street on that. So then they put them, get inside. Vinny finally goes there and tells Snooki this guy has to come back to the apartment because he needs to get his stuff on that. He needs to get his things and his passport mainly. He has to come back here, and at that point you'll realize it's okay. So Snooki understands that and goes back to the room, goes to sleep because she's upset. Now thinking Gianni is going to be there. Well, what Vinny said is true. Now there's a little fallacy in this. He could always go to the U.S. Embassy and claim his stuff was stolen and get back to the U.S. That's not a problem. But here's the fallacy. That's part of the fallacy. But then Gianni comes back. Snooki lets him in. They come down the stairs. He like avoids her on that. When I saw that, it wasn't that he was mad at her. Snooki was being played, and this guy just wanted airtime. And I'm wondering if he was even really into her on that. In fact, I'm wondering if he was even straight, honestly. Because look how he acted. Look at this. You got a woman that loves you. You got a woman that did this, got all freaky with you on that. And you didn't even acknowledge to say, like, you were a drunk idiot. I was embarrassed, but, you know, we're still together, you know. Ron made an effort to fix things with Sammy. Sammy made an effort to fix things with Ron. This just didn't happen. So he goes around, he goes to the shower, she's like upset, starts yelling through the window, comes in the bathroom, says, you tell me what I did. He tells her what she did, she doesn't remember. So she was so drunk, okay, she was doing what she wanted to do because she loved him and she was being freaky for him. It was out of place, yes, but that's the reality of it. So he eventually leaves, and she's crying herself to sleep. That was what most of the episode was, is Snooki crying, which sucks. But she grabbed Crocodile, which I'm glad Crocodile was finally found, and then just kind of left it at that. And that's how the whole episode left, with her crying. And you know, it's just people. We'll see what happens. And then it kind of gave a little snippet of JWoww calling him, saying, "You need to come back here and fix this." And he said, "Oh no, I don't here." So we'll see what happens. But Gianni, you're a friggin' bitch on that. You're not a man. You're something. You're not a man because you didn't man up there. And you knew it when you dated her, what she was crazy when she was drunk. Anyway, thank you. It's Dinosaur. We'll get you next time.